Yes, I'm present before you to welcome you to our class on the peculiar rules of the English grammar. There are certain peculiarities in every language. So here we are dealing with English, therefore we are curious to know about the peculiar features, strange features of the English language. What is the importance of knowing this? Say, why do you speak English? In order to convey your thoughts to others. Now, say, if you do not know certain rules, then it will be difficult for you to translate your thought into English. And we should not forget the fact that our mother tongue is not English. We speak some other language at home. That is our vernacular tongue. Now, if you think in your vernacular language and then translate the same into English, you need to know certain rules. Though I will not, of course, ask you to memorize the names, the terminology of the English grammar. There are many terms which you need not learn by heart. Why? It will be a kind of unnecessary taxation of your mind. So let us do away with that part, the technical names. Even if I utter a few technical names when I am delivering this lesson to you, just ignore the terminology. Not very important. Only rules are very important. Otherwise, what you want to say, you may fail to express in English. Today, we are going to deal with certain imaginary thoughts. The things that have not taken place, or the things that are not likely to take place in reality. How will we express those thoughts? Now I would like to request you to pay full attention to what is written on the whiteboard. See, the first one. When we imagine something that will not happen, so imaginations are always unreal, they are not likely to happen, that's why we call them our imagination. Or we don't expect that it will happen. Even we do not expect that it is going to happen. We use if plus past. That is, you have to use an if clause followed by a sentence in the past tense. That is the clause. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. The entire sentence you have to frame in the past tense. The entire sentence you have to frame in the past tense. I am trying to drive home to you the fact that you have to frame the sentence in the past tense, though the sentence will mean the present. And that is the strange feature of the English language or English grammar. Let's see what follows. If we went, if there was, if you found, etc. If we went, we are not going. In fact, we are not going, or we have not gone, or we are not likely to go very soon. If we went, this is our supposition. We suppose. If there was, this is also the product of our imagination. There is nothing. But we are imagining if there was. If you found, you're going to find nothing. But I imagine if you found something, etc. Many such sentences, many such clauses can be framed, but not all the clauses can be written now here on the whiteboard. Therefore, there is etc. etc. But the meaning is not past. That is what I have told you. Though the sentences are in the past tense, the meaning is the present. If we went is the past tense form of go. If there was is the past tense form of am, is, or be verb. If you found Found is the past tense form of find, etc. Remember, the meaning is the present. What would you do if you won a lottery? The meaning is very clear, I think. It's a very simple sentence. Simple in the sense, very plain sentence, very ordinary sentence. Simple not in the sense of the grammar. What would you do? Here there is would. W-O-U-L-D. What would you do? But in the if clause there is no would. The if clause is simply in the past tense form. You are not likely to win a lottery. At least I don't expect you to win a lottery very soon or in the near future or even the distant future. But it is my imagination. So I'm asking you, what would you do? You would do something, of course. If you won a lottery, you would get a huge amount of money all of a sudden, and you would have to plan how to spend that money. So this is a kind of imaginary conversation that is taking place between you and me. So I'm asking you that what would you do if you won a lottery in the past tense? If you won a lottery, won, W-O-N, won is the past tense form of win, W-I-N. Next sentence. If there was or were an election tomorrow, who would you vote for? If there was an election, in fact, in reality, there is no election going to be held tomorrow. So it is entirely my imagination. I'm saying, if there was an election tomorrow, see, tomorrow this word indicates clearly that we are talking about the future. Okay? But what sort of construction you see? Follow this, what I'm saying. There was an election. Here the past tense form of the be verb is used. Isn't it very strange? Isn't it very funny indeed? But that is the rule, my dear friends. We have to follow the rules stipulated by Oxford. So, there is also or where. You must be a little surprised to see that within brackets there is where. Why? If there were an election, election is a singular noun. And we know very well, we learned at our school level that when there is a singular noun, we have to use is or was, but not are or were. I will just make it clear to you very soon. See, remember this word where, W-E-R-E. Where goes with all the pronouns. When we deal with our imagination. That's it, yes. For example, I, first person singular number. But I'm going to use where after I. If I were a parrot. If I were a parrot. In fact, I'm not a parrot. At least I don't need to tell you that I'm not a parrot. You can understand seeing me that I'm not a parrot. So if you know that you are imagining something which is not in reality, then use were. If I were a parrot, I would sing songs throughout the day. If she, an imaginary she, if she were a peacock, I would ask her to dance. Imagination, simply imagination. I have framed these two sentences actually following a certain Bengali song. So you can understand, those of you who are Bengali understand very well that I have translated the sentences from a Bengali song. Where will be there? Everywhere. Even when you write the plural pronoun, for example, they, if they were, if we were, if I were singular, if he were singular, if she were, if Jack were, if Lucy were, if John were. So everywhere where. This is a very simple rule. You should know that this where goes with all the pronouns. And for that reason only, in spite of the fact that there is a singular noun, we have used were. If there were an election tomorrow, as it is simply our imagination. Okay, let's see what is there next. Compare if I find and if I found. Clearly, this if clause, if I find, is in the present tense, constructed in the present tense. And it is equally evident that if I found is a past tense form of find. Therefore, this if clause is constructed in the past tense. But in reality, this sentence, this clause does not mean the past. Simply, it means the present. That will become a little more lucid to you when you go through the example sentences. I think I left my watch at your house. If you find it, can you call me? Now you see, I think I left my watch at your house. And this is a fact. This is a fact. This is not imagination. I think I left my watch at your house. Next. If you find it, it's a fact. If my friend happens to find my watch, I'm asking him, can you call me? Can you call me? It has nothing to do with our imagination. Now, instead of can you call me, you might say, could you call me? To be more polite. You could also say, would you call me? Would, could, these words are used in this type of a sentence in order to express my politeness and nothing else. Next sentence. If you found the wallet, in fact, you have not found the wallet. Where? In the street. Actually, you are trying to test the honesty of your friend, and therefore you are asking your friend if you found a wallet in the street, what would you do? Would you take away the content of that wallet? Or you would look for some identity card or something of that sort in order to call the rightful owner of the wallet and return it to him or her? So you are asking, this is your imagination, imaginary question. If you found a wallet in the street, what would you do with it? Here you see in the if clause, there is no would. In the if clause, do not write would. Do not say if you would find a wallet. It will mean something different. It will mean something absolutely different. I will tell you what it might mean if you used would in the if clause. Wait a minute, please. So this is clear. This part is clear. That this is the sentence to express my imaginary thought. We do not generally use would in the if part of the sentence. When you are writing a sentence, when you are framing a sentence, in the if part, do not use would. That is, in the if clause, do not use would. Then it would not mean your imagination. I would be very scared if somebody pointed a gun at me. Not if somebody would point a gun. See, look, follow here. I would be very scared. This is the principal clause. In the principal clause, you don't need to remember principal or subordinate. You don't need to remember. Just for explaining this, I'm telling you. I would be very scared. Here we are using would, the shortened form of would, apostrophe D. I would be very scared. Now see the if clause. In the if clause, there is no would. If somebody pointed a gun at me, I would be very scared. Scared means afraid, frightened. So this simply deals with the imagination. If we went by bus, we are in fact not going by bus, we are going by train. If we went by bus, it would be cheaper. It would be cheaper. Not if we would go by bus. Here you see, if we went by bus, we are not using would in this part of the sentence. We are not saying if we would go by bus. The meaning would be different. Here it is simply our imagination. As we are not traveling by bus, we are traveling by train. So I am telling you, if we went by bus, it would be cheaper. We have to pay a lot of money in order to book the ticket, railway ticket. Now, if we say when we are traveling by train, I'm telling you, do you know if we went by bus, it would be cheaper. If we went by bus, we are in fact traveling by train. All right. I think this part is quite clear to all of you. If not, write down in the comment box. I will just go through the comment and I will try to clarify that, or I will try to make another video on the same topic. Last part of it. But you can use if, would when you ask somebody to do something. Yes. So you are asking somebody to do something. You need to be polite. You are not rude. You need to be polite. You need to be very humble. You need to be very gentle. And in order to express your politeness in the if clause, you may use would. But that has nothing to do with your imagination. That is the fact. So what is the construction? This particular sentence is taken from a formal letter. When you write a formal letter, official letter, you may use this kind of constructions. I would be grateful. Here would is there. I would be grateful. In the following clause also there is would. See, if you would let me know your decision soon. First part there is would. In the second part there is would. Why? In order to express the writer's politeness. So let me repeat this sentence so that you understand. I don't know whether you can read what is written on the board because the type is very small indeed. I would be grateful if you would let me know your decision soon. That's all. I think that this video has already become a long one, so I'm not going to do further talking. Without further dilly-dally, let us call it a day. And I would like to meet you once again in the next session, if God allows. Everything depends on my Almighty God. So, if God allows, we will meet. Once again, we will meet a number of times in the days to come. Thank you very much for watching the video. See you very soon. Bye-bye.